Hello, my Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for November-ish 2019. I like putting ish in there because time, oh boy, once you start understanding and experiencing the quantum, how quickly we shift quantum timelines. Yeah, time is wicked fluid. It's more airy than fluid. Particularly the higher we go in vibration, right? Like you can blink your eyes and be in a different timeline, right? Depending on vibrational rates and all of that. So if you are new, welcome. I am your reader for the moment, Brenda Vaccaro. Mark Angelo Lyons. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle production, purple-haired gay witch from Long Island, very, very happy, and honored to do these readings on YouTube. So let's get some stuff out of the way before we dive into the read. It gives me a good opportunity to really make sure this Caroline Myss archetype deck is shuffled, particularly when archetypes keep appearing in readings in one series. I'm like, that's what it's supposed to be. So let's get some exposition out of the way, shall we? Number one. This is a general read, okay? It's not going to fit for everybody, nor should it fit for absolutely everybody. Once you really start tuning in intuitively, and I'm a clairvoyant empath, so, you see stuff, you feel stuff, but in the infinite expanse of the quantum hologram of human life, by zodiac sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, so take like every sun sign, then add every moon sign, you get it, right? That it's mining the quantum fields, right? It's tricky. But I do bless these cards. I pre-shuffle them and I bless them as I do, that they be guidance, that they be channels of divine guidance and grace for the well-being of all. So that really means that it'd be truly helpful. So there might be like one thing in this reading that's like, oh my God, that's mine, and you'll know by how it feels in your body, right? And and what I mean by that, it's called animation, not like yakko wacko and dot, but animation, like it's ding 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 ding, is what you call positive, attractive animation. But if it's like, oh, blah, it fucking sucks. Like if you want to hit the dislike button, chances are it's true, but it's challenging, it's triggering something inside of you. So just, I would say breathe, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about. So please do check your other signs as well, right? That's why I do them. I don't care how long these soulmate reads are. I don't care how long the twin flame reads are. This is what I do. I'm all about the path of true love. So, I will put in the time, the energy. Actually, I have a client coming to the house after this for a reading, so this might be my last video to be done, so I'll probably just be releasing Aries, Taurus, and Gemini for tonight, starting again fresh tomorrow. Cool. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, we are going to be dealing with divine masculine, divine feminine in this spread, but it has nothing to do with gender, right? Nothing to do with gender at all. Physical body gender, right? Like I am definitely a divine feminine. I'm way more than 51% divine feminine if I were to, percentage that out. But yet, and I've been saying this for each of the videos, put me around my mom, I'm the prince, divine masculine. So, different archetypal chemistry, right, brings out different things in us. Oh, and to my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for reminding me. We're getting closer and closer. I'm shooting for 1,000+ subscribers so that I can do super live chat, and I'm making y'all a promise now, at least for the first couple of months. Once I get there, I will do what is called a drunk tarot general read on super live chat, which means, I don't know, maybe I'll do like a little shot of Chardonnay for each new question that comes in, and you can watch me get drunker and drunker as it goes on. But let me be clear, I don't drink a lot, so it doesn't take a lot. Like that's one addiction I don't have. Like I love some hot sake, it's always with food, and I will be eating beforehand. But the thing is when I drink and read, which is so rare that it happens, at a party, someone's like, pull a card, I'm like, you're a bitch, right? The edit function shuts off, and it can be very funny because what doesn't change in me is my light-hearted, compassionate, loving. I'm walking a heart-centered path. I'm a divine feminine empath, so, I'm just not narcissistic that way, but boy, do the narcs like me. I don't think they're going to like me for much longer. I caught on to their shit. Anyway, So was there anything else? Was there anything else? I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, please, the decks that I'm reading, all the decks that I use in total are at the bottom of my description box, right? So go have a look. I'm always trying to promote the tools and systems that work for me, but also in that description box, there's a couple of important links. If you're new to the channel, you might want to check them out. A couple of videos, for example, one by me clarifying twin flames, soulmates, and true lovers. 3 different types of contracts, soul, pre-incarnational soul contracts, because a soulmate contract is very different than a twin flame contract. You have hundreds of soulmates in one lifetime, and you have hundreds of twin flames in one lifetime. Where did I learn that from? A genius spiritual teacher by the name of Matt Kahn. Maybe you've heard of Matt. I came across him on YouTube before I even started doing readings on YouTube about 1.5 years ago, and that was, I think, the first one I watched. It was like, it's like, I'm in. His definition of it is just transcendent. It makes so much sense. Such clarity, and really, in the intuitive, feels like, oh, truth, right? So let's talk a little bit about what a soulmate contract is. A soulmate is a pre-incarnational agreement that you make with other souls that are satisfying, symbiotic, supportive, a lot of S words, right? Soothing. You help each other heal. In other words, you come into physical form with this person around the same time. It can be mother-child, by the way, big thing. Soulmates the soulmate contract is the essence of the relationship on a soul level. The form, however, can be in near infinite variety, right? So we brother, sister, but of course lovers, romantic, sexual, all that stuff. Although that's the true lovers contract for me, which is a different thing. That's my own download that I got from my gods, my angels, my masters. So you might want to check those out, as well as my ebooks are down there. My Path of True Love workshop classes are in there. There are 5 of them because I just stopped after 5. I could have gone on and made hundreds of them. Just didn't. Was really done with that. It's a really good foundation. They're $10 a pop on Vimeo on demand, and I set it for unlimited views, so you can watch it 10 billion times, right? Cool. Is that it, my guys? My guides? Do the reading. Good. Oh, last one. Please remember to breathe, right? Every time you breathe, you really are breathing in divine love. You're just not aware of it, right? Every time you inhale, you're breathing in chi, prana, life force, reiki, shmeiki, eggs and bakey, if that's what you define it as. And what is that at its core? It's all the divine. It's all love. So to breathe in everything that you need in that moment, in that span of an inhale, and then to lovingly, gracefully, energetically let go of whatever does not serve. So I've learned, especially since them Samhain reads, those Samhain Mercury retrograde reads, holy, they were a lot. That's when the guidance came. They said, just remember to breathe. Because what happens is the energy gets so high, and I am so clairvoyant and so empathic that I go, it's like I vibrate so high that I trip over my words. It's Mercury retrograde. I am a Virgo, ruled by Mercury. So you're going to hear me every now and then. I'll look at you, I'll say, breathe. Like, if I feel the energy start to go, breathe. And you can even watch my shoulders drop. Although with my background, maybe you can't see that. It's in cashmere. Lovely. I love black cashmere. I have black cats, so it saves a lot of dry cleaning. Except for those allergic to cats, and that's on them. So take a deep breath, call in your guides, your higher power, whatever, and let's do this. Ready? Ready. Breathe. Please forgive any coughing. I'm in the tail end of a head cold. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one dominant archetype. What is the dominant archetype from the Caroline Myss archetype cards? To represent the divine feminine in this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. You gave me 2 there, top or bottom? Always on the top. Ooh, the Storyteller. Ooh, the Storyteller is such an interesting card. Doesn't it sound nice? The Storyteller. And it's light, it's delightful. In the shadow, not so much. Let's look at that. We're going to do these. There are only going to be two, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. So remember, this is a supportive, satisfying soulmate relationship. You're here to help yourself heal, because the shadow on the shadow of any archetype is the lead. It's toxic. That this relationship, you're helping each other heal, alchemize it into gold. So the shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others, lying, deception, gaslighting, not great. You know, a lot of people aren't aware of what that term means or where it comes from. It's actually from a movie where a man tries to leave his wife by driving her crazy through lies and deceptions and screwing with things so that, you know, the light bulb, the gaslight is on and then the gaslight is off. But no, it's so fucked up, right? So storytellers, it's a big deceptive deal to deal with. Now, as toxic as that is, the stories that are being told in this world, let alone the stories that go on in our own mind from our own, you know, overstressed nervous system, right? Inflamed nervous system. Go check some Eckhart Tolle about that stuff, about watching, being the silent watcher of the mind, meditation, essentially mindfulness, if you will, which is so funny because you're the no mind, you're the witness of the mind. It's a contradiction in terms there in a way. So that you see that this is just the mechanistic thing that the mind does, particularly the limbic brain, the fight or flight stuff. The light attribute, this is what you're shooting for. Ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Now, I have a touch of the storyteller in me. I can tell a story, but I use stories. I'm not going to call myself a shaman, because now that really feels like cultural appropriation. I'm a witch, all right? I am a witch. I'm an eclectic witch. I'll beg, borrow, and steal shit from wherever for my own personal practice, but then what comes out of my mouth and my conduct is usually my angle on things, right? But I certainly use stories. Plus, I read tarot and divination systems for a living. I'm a professional intuitive. That's how I pay my bills. So, you know, there's that thing about expressing life through stories. So this is the creative, storyteller is the creative family of archetypes. So we're going to put her down there. Remember, divine masculine, divine feminine, nothing to do with bodily gender, Y chromosome or otherwise, right? You'll feel it out. You'll know, probably with this next card, which one you are. My twins, my Geminis. Breathe. Please, my collective pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card for the divine masculine in this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. What you got for the divine masculine here? Oh, the Samaritan. Lovely. Very scriptural. Very biblical. Right? From Samara, an appointment in Samara. Go read that one. Fate and destiny, right? The shadow attribute. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. In other words, divine masculine here. And by the way, I don't know which one you are, so I'm just going to refer to you as he and she, as I said. Exacting appreciation and recognition. That is something that is very narcissistic. In other words, you're not doing the good thing for the love of it, right? For the expression of love. There's a lack of empathy there. You're doing it. It's like, oh, I heard this good one. It's like putting money in a tip jar, but making sure that the person sees you do it so that it changes their opinion of you, or you get that boost of, look at how good I am. Hidden agenda. That's always what shadows are about, right? If anybody knew, would you want no one else to know about it? That's how you know. Like, would you want no one to be able to hear the thoughts or know what your motivations are? That's shadow. Is it something that you wouldn't want broadcasted across the internet? That's shadow. That's a really good way to say that. So in this soulmate, here as the Samaritan, what makes it so lovely is the light. That's how it is with all the archetypes. I am so sorry. I might have to get some water. Breathe. Light attribute. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore, right? Great, big, huge deal. That is humanitarianism, right? That is about refines your capacity to help people. This is about service. Now we've got a creative family archetype. The Samaritan is the divine family archetype, like the Good Samaritan. It's in the Bible. Don't ask me which book. I could never chapter and verse that stuff. I don't know which. I mean, I've studied it. It just doesn't mean I can commit it to memory. I can paraphrase the fuck out of anything, though. Get the meaning of it, right? Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So think of this, like already, this does not feel romantic, sexual, the vibe on these cards. We'll see what else hits the table. But for Gemini Storyteller, that makes a lot of sense, right? Creative family, just watch the creative stories, right? That you're not harming yourself or others in the process. But with the Samaritan, that there's somebody here in the shadow who's trying to help with a hidden agenda, but they really need to refine their capacity to help those that they would rather ignore. So this could be very, very tricky situation. Yeah, particularly if in the shadow one's a liar and one's, helping something with the shadow agenda, helping someone. Now, this doesn't mean that the Samaritan is acting this way towards the storyteller or the storyteller is lying. This might just be stuff that's going on in both people, and you're being brought together in this contract, reason, season, or lifetime to help each other heal, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to clarify the Divine Feminine with 5 cards from the Daughters of the Moon Tarot by Fiona Morgan. It's the deck I've been reading longer than any other deck, even longer. I don't read the Rider-Waite anymore. I cut my teeth on that at age 12. So here we go. We're gonna do Mercury retrograde. We're gonna do the element spread: fire, earth, air, water, spirit. For what the Divine Masculine, starting with the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine, we'll get Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sharman Burke. Same spread, same concept. Fire, what does the Divine Feminine want? Earth, what is the fuel that she has to fuel that fire? What does she have? Air, what is she thinking? Water, what is she feeling? And spirit, what is the overview, not the outcome, the overview? Because fire, earth, air, and water join together to make spirit. Just like Captain Planet. Yeah, I'm 51, and I still do love my animations. Yes. Okay, here we go. Breathe. My goddesses, please. Element spread, top 5 cards for the Divine Feminine Storyteller archetype in this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. What does she want? What does she have? What does she think? What does she feel? And what's the overview from Spirit? Please, top 5 cards, element spread. Riffle, cut in 3. Maiden, clean cut, nice. Mother, crone. And not an unclean card is when one pinches in the hinge of my finger, and it really wants to be on the bottom, but it's sort of still clinging to the top, so I like a clean cut. I like clean cut men too, but I guess opposites attract, huh? All right, so Divine Feminine Storyteller, what does she want? Well, she got decisions, Chokhmah, which is interesting. It's one of the spheres in the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. You might want to look into that if that's your thing. I'll study mysticism in any form I'm drawn to, by the way. Certainly Anatomy of the Spirit by Caroline Myss. Caroline Myss Archetypes cards. That's where I learned the overlay of the chakras and the 7 levels of the Tree of Life and the 7 Christian sacraments from a higher perspective, but also the 8 habits of the pagan wheel of the year. That's my own. See, I learn stuff, and I teach myself stuff, and then I'm shown the next step. I'm shown the next thing, my addition to it. So what she wants is to make a decision or have a decision made. Considering that we're dealing with Gemini here, there's often some indecision here, but it feels like a decision has not been made if that's what she wants, her element of fire. What she got? What is the earth, the wick in the candle, the wick and the wax that feed the flame? Well, 3 of flames, loyalty, interestingly enough. So she has loyalty, willing to wait. But loyalty to who? Loyalty to what? That might be what this decision card is. Now, I do want to clarify there is a difference in scale between a choice and a decision, particularly when it comes to loyalty. Loyalties have to be prioritized. It's different than oh, I don't know, latte or macchiato, right? Those are choices. The consequences are going to be relatively the same, particularly with the Eight of Blades, right? Think of the Eight of Blades in the traditional tarot. Tain't pretty, right? It's being bound, right? And blindfolded. So a decision has to be made, wants to be made here. But what she's got is loyalty, but not really sure of whether or not she should give her loyalty there, a decision of loyalty. You know, waiting on something, right? Holding a candle in the window on a cold, hard winter's night. And I can't fight this feeling anymore. No, sorry, that's 80s soft rock. I've been wondering when I started that before. My Gen Xers, I feel ya. I'm such a Gen Xer. Okay, so yeah, an element of fire in the element of earth, and an element of air in the element of fire. So there's a lot of thinking going on here. It's not so much the Nine of Swords, which, you know, is just that obsessive crazy. This is about being bound, but there are issues of loyalty at here. It feels like if the loyalties are the divine first, then me, then friends and family, then work, it'll work. And I learned that from Ian Van Sant in a book called In the Meantime. Go check it out. She's great. I love her. I love my soul sisters. I love everybody. Well, most days. What does the divine feminine think about all this, right? Well, Three of Pentacles, right? So we've got a Three of Flames, Three of Wands, and Three of Pentacles. About sort of putting in the work, right? You know, like willing to put in the work here, at least thinking about putting in the work to at least make this decision or have this decision made, but willing to work it. It's the clay woman. So she takes the dirt beneath her feet, which is where clay comes from. It comes from the earth, it's the element of earth, and then sculpts it, makes it into something beautiful and practical, right? So willing to put in the work here, thinking about it, but again, there's maybe a loyalty issue here that they're dealing with, about how much soul to put into it, how much creativity, right? Creative family archetype, whether or not she wants to talk about this, or is it here to bring this into some sort of story form for them. So it's tricky. And do know that all of our stories, written, right, fiction, literature, but our lives are filled with archetypes, right? Archetypes are everywhere. Caroline Myss made this great analogy. She said that archetypes are like pieces of lint that you can't see until you go under a black light, and then they're fucking everywhere. So it's like turning on your archetypal vision, that we are living out stories. We are souls that incarnated into bodies with the script already written. That's the quantum fifth dimensional unity consciousness POV. This is all scripted. All outcomes have already been determined, though there may be quantum variations. I'm even learning about meta-incarnation, where we incarnate into the same life over and over and over, just like playing a single-player shooter, right? Single-shooter video game, right? So that we can beat the boss. So we keep coming back, expanding the quantum, but all within the same parameters and contracts of a lifetime. So, you know, that there's a lot going on with this stuff. So, you know, in the mind about loyalty and all this stuff with the storyteller, it's tricky. Now remember, this loyalty issue may not be about the divine masculine here, because remember, this is soulmate, helping each other heal, satisfying, supportive, symbiotic, a lot of successes, right? So let's get the water. How is she feeling? Well, she got a water card in the water position. This is the Pisces card. All right. Now, the thing about a Pisces card, or about the court cards in this deck, it says right on the card Pisces. So I can't say, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. It's the same with the Mythic Tarot. They're very zodiac specific. But here, it's like, this could feel like a Pisces person. I rarely read them that way, but it could be like the storyteller here, you know, that's contemplating, right, has this, a decision of loyalty to make, willing to put in the work to make it work, but that there is some kind of Piscean influence here, that this Pisces energy is in their heart, in their emotional field, and they have to make a decision, perhaps about stories that they have told, maybe about this Piscean person that's in their energy field. Well, and the other side of that is that the Piscean card is either about deep mystical truth, mystical union, or addiction, deception, and illusion, right? So there's a lot going on in the emotional field here for this divine feminine, whether it is the Gemini here or not. But with that storyteller, it does feel like the shadow is lurking here in terms of this decision. Are they going to be loyal to themselves? Are they going to be honorable to themselves? Are they going to be truthful? Because in their mind, they're like, I could make this work if only, if only, if only, all in the mind. A decision has to be made to bring it into action. But there's something there about that Pisces energy that I don't know what that is, and as I begin to tune to it even at a cursory, clairvoyant, empathic glance, there's a lot of confusion going on there. Some things hidden, concealed, deceived, there's lies, there's chains of illusion, webs of half-truth, sins of omission. You know, a sin of omission, it's the mistake of, oh, I didn't lie, just didn't tell you what was going on, right? Sin of omission. Someone omitted something here, possibly. It's really affecting this person emotionally. Just saying. Let's get the last one down, the overview from Spirit. Ooh, the Seven of Cups. In this deck called Jealousy, but Seven of Cups in the traditional tarot, it's those cups in the sky, right? And options. Well, let's deal with the jealousy part of this first, okay? Because that's what it says on the card, but I don't always. In fact, I rarely read it that way. But with this loyalty thing, well, you got 2 3s, which third-party situation maybe going on here. Maybe this is a little bit more romantic sexual than I originally tuned into. That there is jealousy here. That this person has some jealousy. Now, all jealousy is, it's the ego. It's the toxic, scared, terrified child inside of us that's really saying, when the fuck is it my turn? How come they get to have that? Where they don't know the story of what the person went through to get that, right? They don't know. They don't know. I'm sure people have jealousy and envy towards me, and there's a difference between jealousy and the deadly sin of envy. Envy will take you out of the fucking game. It's just destroyer, right? Third Eye, Defy Gravity by Caroline Myss, or Words of Grace from a Professional Witch by Angelo and Lyons. Ebook in the links below. It can drive you crazy. It can really make you crazy, but emotionally here, it feels like there are some fantasies and some lies going on here, things being deceived, things being hidden, that the truth is not really here. So we're really looking at a divine feminine storyteller here who ain't telling the truth, at least to themselves, right? So I would say to anybody dealing, because this is the lens through which we look at the 4 elements, fire, earth, air, water, is kind of look at, it's like, you'll get what you want eventually when it's scripted, when it's that part of the story for you to get there. But in the meantime, you have to allow that jealous voice, just like a jealous 5-year-old, in your solar plexus, in your third eye, wherever you may be feeling it, although I'm feeling very solar plexus twingy here, that this is something you're doing to yourself, and you may be lying about it, you know, because jealous me, hardy, yahoot mess, right? It's okay to be jealous, but it is a toxicity. There is an illusion here that you will get what you want. It's sort of like what happens when FOMO happens. I just learned FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Well, it can really easily turn to jealousy and be very emotionally volatile and unstable because you have other options. Pardon me, my heating system, central heating, it's set on a thing, it kicks in, kicks out. I'm not thrilled with it. I should really turn it off. I think it's bitch cold in here. So no. I'm wearing cashmere though. Nobody minds hard nipples when they're wearing cashmere. So, you know, this is a weird vibe going on with the Divine Feminine. And if you're the Divine Feminine here, yeah, you need to make a decision here, no question. But I would say move through the emotion and go into the intuition, right? Because here in your mind, it's almost like you have everything you need for an initial beginning, right? It's like you've got the flour, you've got the butter, you've got the eggs, you've got the vanilla, you've got the sugar, you have the pans, you've got the oven. It ain't cake yet. right? You have to put it all together, but you have everything you need in the physical to make this decision, and I think you know that. That's in your mental field, but there is this waiting. There's this waiting. There's an issue of loyalty. Now, if you can put the divine first and simply go to your higher power, gods, goddesses, whoever, ascended masters, angels, and say, all right, what is the honorable thing to do here? Because this is loyalty. How can I be loyal? What would Jesus do? What would Buddha do? What would Hecate do? I'm well aware of what Hecate would do. What would love do? What would my higher self do here? Because you have everything you need physically, and you know it, to bust a move, to tell the truth. But there's something here about your jealousy and your envy. And the deadly sin of envy is healed by two graces associated with the third eye. The grace of knowledge and the grace of clarity. So the Divine Feminine is not seen clearly here, and may be passing on stories, toxic stories here, as a result of misperception, as a result of emotional possession by the deadly sin of envy. So ask for the grace of knowledge, Caroline Mace. Yeah, that's Defy Gravity. Defying Gravity? I always forget, because I know one's a song from Wicked, which I don't need playing in my head right now. Thank you so much, Hermes. You could just take the needle off that record. Thank you. But the other, I talk about it in my book, Words of Grace. That book is divided up by chakras. I do 8 chakras instead of 7 because I deal with this one a lot more. This is where fifth dimensional consciousness begins, and we download it, pushing out all of the mental, emotional debris and trauma of not just ourselves but the entire collective of humanity, and absorbs the third and fourth dimension up into the fifth. So it's not ascension this way, it's really about embodiment, right? Come bringing that. So honor is a huge, huge, huge part of that. Loyalty to your highest principles. Just be careful, because you're shooting for the light archetype. I hear this will make a great story in the future. Like, you look back, you'll tell the story and you go, oh my god, I was totally possessed by the green-eyed monster, but this is what I did. You know, I got my shit together. I made the decision to be honorable, to be truthful for the well-being of all. Yes. Let's look for the Divine Masculine, and we'll do that with, like I said, the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sherman Burke. Breathe. My gods, please. Oh, Hermes. Oh, Hermes. Oh, Hermes. Please. Top 5 cards, element spread. For the Divine Masculine, in the Divine Masculine Samaritan archetype, for this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for, that's a good way to look at it, November-ish 2019. He just said, yeah, what these readings are, it's like contract review. It's like you're reviewing a contract. This is what lawyers do. I am a universal lawyer in that sense. I think all witches really study law and then put it into practice for wisdom, for the well-being of all. Except what we know. So, my gods, please, top 5 cards, here you for the Divine Masculine in this situation. As I say, clean cut, please. Clean cut, move down, move down. Sun, thank you. Father, Sage, excellent. 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 Let's have a look-see-duck-see. What's this Divine Masculine Samaritan doing? Oh, let me remind you, all right? The shadow, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Not great, but refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. We'll see what comes down, but I think I know what this is. Ding! Clairvoyance. Hermes is right there, okay? Right next to Wonder Pig. Well, Wonder Pig bang. Okay, what does the Divine Masculine want? Ace of Wands. Now that is Zeus. About to give the order to Jason and the Argonauts to go get the Golden Fleece. Which is weird because he's wearing it. But it was a divine dictate, right? The god said, Zeus said, where is he? He right there. Do this. Do this, right? It's the initiatory thing. So the Divine Masculine here, very phallic energy, I will say. Remember, we're not talking about bodily gender here, but that primogenitor, that spark of creation, right? That ace of flames, new will, new desire, very much wants a new thing going on here. A new desire, a new impulse to create. Can be a case of the hornies. I don't know what that is, but we shall see. What do they have? What is the wax and the wick that feeds the flame? Ooh, the magician. Someone's got skills. Someone knows how to bring their mind, their will, passion, decision, their emotions, and their form into alignment with spirit. So this divine masculine Samaritan here might very much want to be ignoring this divine feminine, but is willing to help, but can protect themselves, can do the alchemy necessary. I think I know what this is, or at least one of the dominant scenarios, because it's coming through. Rather visually, I have to say, thank you, Hermes. It's so hot. He really is. Let's get what does the divine masculine think about this? What's going on with all of this? 10 of Wands, they're so over it that they're thinking, I don't want to fucking do this again. I got what I needed out of this. I got what I needed out of this. But you see, the thing about a soulmate contract, soulmates aren't always so pretty 24/7. There are bumps in the road, right? There are flies in the ointment. Every relationship has its challenges, but they tend to work themselves out as if by magic. Certainly not through deception. Storyteller over here. No, I'm not down in this. It feels like this is part of the contract, that I could see this feeling very much like a turbulent twin flame relationship. It's not. It's a soulmate contract. So you're here to help each other heal this, but it feels like the Samaritan, right, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Perhaps some lies and shit went down here with this divine feminine energy. And he's just like, yeah, well, I got the fucking golden fleece. So he's got the golden fleece. It's the 10. Oh, yeah, totally. From the ace to the 10 in one spread. That's what this divine masculine is thinking. This Samaritan, right? The good Samaritan. Like the good witch. The good witch is Christmas? Really? Should that be the good witch's Yule? Just saying. Hallmark. It's great. Hallmark. I don't care. I don't have a contract with them anymore. 10 of Wands. Done. Hava Nagila, let's put the sucker to bed, right? Rite of passage completed. At least that's what's going on in the mind. But really, wants a new beginning. Wants a new beginning. Wants a new shot at this. Wants a new offer. Whether they offer it or this one offers it. Because the thing about soulmates is, if you haven't gotten to that place of recognition of soulmate contract, then you're using the relationship for purposes other than it is intended. It's written in. If you're there to help each other heal, that's not always pretty, but that's the name of the game here in these relationships. You're helping each other heal, helping bring each other clarity, and sometimes some toxic shit can go down because eventually the love returns, right? You've done this before in other lives. Maybe you've done this again and again and again in this life, and I just don't, well, maybe a repetitive pattern in this relationship, but that meta-incarnation, that you've both incarnated in these same bodies over and over and over again to get it right this time, to enjoy the ascension, to enjoy the anchoring and full embodiment of fifth-dimensional unity consciousness in physical form. Just saying. You know what that is? I'm sorry, that's just a little too stunning for me. I know, it gets cold in here and I still have my drag fans. Go fig. What is this divine masculine feeling? Oh, 10 of Swords. Stick a fork in this, I'm done. Yet, still wanting. Stick a fork in this, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. Like, no. This is done. This is dead. Face down in the mud. I know, right or wait. But this is just Athena coming in and saying, all right, enough of this. Right? It's the goddess Athena in there, an air goddess. Enough of this, enough of this. And that's how this divine masculine is feeling, but I cannot get away from this. That wants, still feels something, still wants a new beginning, and it feels like with this divine feminine. Now look, if this is familial, that does kind of make sense. I mean, like, the divine masculine, I mean, it could be a mother to a toxic child, and just be like, I'm so over this. Like, my heart and my mind are just pulling me apart, but still, all right. Let's see if we can start over again, because they'd rather ignore this. They'd rather ignore the divine feminine here, but heartstrings, soul contracts, the little red thread. You snip that fucker. You can't with soulmates. Twin flames you can, though. You burn them away. Long story. So one last one for spirit, the overview for the divine masculine. Eight of Pentacles, it's all about the work. It's all about the work. That this Samaritan, right, refines your capacity to help those. There's a thing of service here for this divine masculine, willing to do the work. If that's what's on the path, if this is what I have to do, all right, let me put my head down. I'm 2 pentacles away from 10. Let me get to work here. That's very, very cool. And this does make sense. Now, let's be clear. We're going to add 3 more cards to this spread that will clarify. But what I'm getting here is that the mental emotional dynamic of these two, that they are in separation from each other, right? Particularly because we've got that jealousy card. I'll do this in the overview at the end. But there definitely feels like, particularly with this the mental 10 of Wands and the emotional 10 of Swords, yeah. They're on a break. Definitely on a break, whether it's a break up. But a separation can be like family members that don't talk to each other. Friends that just are not interested. Like, not interested at all. All right? Let's bring some more clarity to this with the Whispers of Love Oracle. I love this deck. This represents the voices of the higher selves of all involved. So please do breathe. I hope you don't have a head cold too, unless we all coughed in stereo. 5th dimensional unity mucus. Higher selves of all involved, please. 1 card for the divine feminine in this Taurus collective. Higher selves of all involved, please. 1 card in clarity for the divine feminine in this Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. What's going on here? What is the higher self's message to this divine feminine storyteller? Romance. It's romantic. Romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. I feel like that's the decision going on here. All right? I feel like that's the decision this divine feminine has here. It's about loyalty, and it's like they want to, but I feel like because of their own hidden jealousy that they didn't tell the other person about, like, it's one thing to say, like, oh my God, I'm so jelly, but to say, you know, I'm happy where you are, but it's driving me up a wall because I want that too. When is it fucking my turn? That's how you be honest about jealousy. And right there, right, you say it. It's no longer in the shadow. It's brought into the light. And really, the Samaritan would say, well, honey, how can I help you? How can I serve you, right? How can I serve you? So there's a thing here of the romance. It's like, you have everything you need, divine feminine, to make this work. You got that 3 of Pentacles. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Doesn't mean that it's a done deal. There is going to be work involved here, but this divine masculine, with that 8 of Pentacles in their spirit position, they're willing to do the work, but they're fucking burnt out and exhausted by all this crazy crap that they may not even know about, because the Piscean card may be a lot of emotion, but hidden, while the storyteller tells a story to themselves and everybody else that is just not real. But I'm telling you, there is a love story here. There is a love story here that, you know, just like fucking Hallmark movie, right? It's like, and we hated each other, we loved you, but at the end, the violins came on and we came together and it's happily ever after. So that shit ever happened. But in a soulmate contract, you understand we're here to help each other heal. We're here to be supportive of each other, to help each other through. It feels like this Samaritan's down for that. But let's have a look. Let's ask the higher selves of all involved. Please, the higher selves of all involved. 1 card. Breathe. In clarity for the divine masculine in this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for November-ish 2019. We've got this divine masculine Samaritan. That one came out quick. What say you? New love. New love. This Samaritan wants to give it another shot. New love. Embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. And it feels like with the Divine Family archetype, this is about new love with the Divine Feminine. Wants it, but it knows it's going to be work and it's going to bring spiritual growth. That this person has developed their honor to a place, well, unless they're just doing it to you can help somebody with a hidden agenda like, yeah, I'm going to help you, you crazy fucking, show you how toxic you are. Be careful with that. Always backfires. You got to be bad, you got to be bold, you got to be wiser, you got to be hard, you got to be tough, you got to be stronger, you got to be cool, you got to be calm, you got to stay together. But all I know is new love will save the day. Yay, yay, yay. I love that song. It was a mantra for me. Who's that? The Oh-Ohs? I don't think that was the 90s. That was the Oh-Ohs. Uh-oh. We're going to end with the newest divination system I have, the Journey of Love Oracle. I love this deck so much. They are heavy, like deep, not heavy toxic, heavy deep. So I'm going to read it from the book. I have not memorized all of them yet. I only got them less than a month ago. But I adore them. I adore them. Went up to Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs while I was visiting my mother and stepfather, Hera and Zeus. As I call them, because they just fucking are. I love it. Go stop, if you're ever in Saratoga Springs, stop by Magic Moon, tell them Mal sent you, they'll know. Say, purple hair, reader, I love them, they're so great. I love the daughter, I love Veronica, the mother, I love them all. Alright. So I'm going to be reading it from the book. Oh, yeah, right. So it's all in the description box below, but the author is Alana Fairchild. The artist is Rasouli, R-A-S-O-U-L-I, and the poet is Richard Cohen. I'm pretty sure I got that right. So I'm going to be reading it from the book, and I have a very nice reading, speaking voice. I really should do voiceover work, but so much work. I'd rather do this. If someone wants to offer me something. Good pay. I don't mind. Wouldn't it be great if they used my voice for like some kind of like animation cool thing? I would love to do that. I was raised by a nursery school teacher. I could do 10,000 character voices. I just occasionally bring them in. It sounds like channeling, but it's just me fucking around. Breathe. We started with the collective pantheons. We end with the collective pantheons. My collective pantheons, please. One card, a Journey of Love Oracle card for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract. Oh, my heart. Oh, this is love. This is love that's been put through the ringer, trials, tests, and tribulations. One more time. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card, one Journey of Love Oracle card for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this soulmate contract for November 2019. Please, one card in clarity. Sensual Awakening. I never read that one before. I'm a little scared. Oh my God. 64. 6 and 4 makes 10 an ending and a new beginning. Damn numerology. 64. 61. 62. Oops, skipped it. Sensual Awakening. Now, the first part of this is sort of the explanation of the card. The second part of this is the oracular meaning, like what the card means in a situation. And the third part is a poem. But look, it's so pretty. Sensual Awakening. Pretty. And we begin. Breathe. Within the sacred temple of your body, your soul experiences the vast buffet of life made manifest. Your sensuality is a way for your soul to express appreciation, pleasure, and joy. Your sensuality is much like your creative energy. It needs to be expressed regularly, otherwise it can become muffled under a fuzz of too much thinking. You are being called to experience your sensual nature again. You are beautiful and vivid, striking and appealing. Allow your sensual appreciation for yourself and others to flow, and enjoy this unique experience of being a soul awakening in a body awakening. It's all love. Cough, breathe. Fuck. This oracle brings you guidance that your sensual nature needs to play, and it doesn't require an external lover to do so, though that is one way, of course. It can be expressed through massage, creating art, Claywoman, spending time in nature, swimming, dancing mindfully, feeling the sun or air on your skin, drinking aromatic tea, or taking a bath. Play with what feels good for you and enjoy the indulgence. It will bring you renewed energy. And apart from that, it's fun. Let's read the poem here. This is a little long. Breathe. I dare not touch my heart's desire that sings a melody so still and lights within a yearning fire, a void that you alone can fill. I cannot say how my heart aches, nor speak the words as embers burn. Such blessings came to those who wait, a love that asks not in return. Breathe. An open soul a risk must bear, to love without restrictions held, to reach another level rare, where two embraced as one are meld. To taste surrender's nectar sweet, by piercing through the veil so thin, and bathe in joy as tears release, a promised dance begins again. Book drop. That's this relationship. That is this relationship. Look, this relationship is not all about sex and sensuality, but that's what's going on in this contract. This attraction. This whole contract is drawing the two of you back together, and maybe you're not supposed to be together, so that you really, really get clear. Really, really get clear on your own alchemy of what you need to heal within yourself, or at least then bring that to the table and say, here's what I copped to. Don't know what to do about it. I'm wicked fucking sorry. Both sides. It does feel like more the divine feminine to the divine masculine, because the divine masculine is like, I'm off like a prom gown, bitch. I'm out of here. I am out of here. But yet, that's in the mental emotional, right? That's the fourth dimension, the heart, throat, the third eye, and the crown, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the spirit is willing to do the work. They would rather ignore this person. They would rather block them, ghost them, run the fuck away. But the attraction here, there is a new love here. A new love of self, a new love of each other, an opportunity to heal. And it feel now. Look, I don't know what the toxic situation is here in the divine feminine. Remember, this can be two men, this can be two women, this can be a divine feminine in a male body and a divine feminine in a female body. We're not talking about gender here. I'm not like getting weird on you, but it does feel like this divine masculine with this magician card and this, refines their ability to help people they would rather ignore. Like when you walk past someone homeless. Now, even, it's not that I always give money to the homeless. Sometimes I just don't, like, oh my God, it's plastic. I'm not giving them my credit card. But I'll say, bless you, brother. I wish I had it on me to give you, but blessed be. I actually prayed with a couple every now and again. One came up, I was pumping my gas. Got back in the car, knocked on my window, asked me if I had cash. All I had was, like, the change in the back seat. I grabbed that to him and said, but tell you what, can I give you a blessing? Can I give you a prayer? I said, yeah. And we both sort of welled up a little bit. lose a lot, but may be blessed, brother, with all that you need, right? That's a Samaritan act. That's a golden Samaritan. But it feels like these two are this is a soulmate contract, but the divine feminine might not be able to really heal this without the support, right? They still have to heal it within themselves, but may not be able to do it without coming clean to the divine masculine here. And is willing to give the support, is really willing. And the passion here, the sensuality, the chemistry between the two of them feels off the fucking charts. So, you know, I'd put off on that. I would totally, if that's all this, that's not all this is then. In a twin flame relationship, that would be, well, we're in it for the sex and we're going to burn each other alive, right? As then you are torn apart again and you have to learn how to heal your own wounds. This feels like there was some deception going on. Oh, let's just do the overview, shall we? Magic clap! We've got the divine feminine here with the storyteller archetype, right? To remind you in the shadow, making up tales that harm others. In the light attribute, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So if the divine feminine can kind of see, well, what story is this that I'm in? I think that would give them an archetypal eighth chakra POV on this. What does she want? She wants to make this decision or have this decision be made. It is life-changing. And it is, you know, about loyalty. That's what they have. That's like I feel like, you know, this, my good God, my good goddess. This divine feminine feels the loyalty, has been waiting for this sort of connection their whole lives. But in their mind, right, they've got this Three of Pentacles. It's like, fuck, there's everything I need here in this relationship. We can come together to unite, to build something strong together, but it's going to take a lot of work. They may not want to do the work. Maybe they're lying to themselves that they can't do the work, or that they do want to do the work. Don't know. That's in the individual. Oh, and we are dealing with Geminis here, so there are two minds about everything. Both y'all could be Geminis. I don't know. You know which one you are at this point, I would think. Because, you know, dear good goddess, emotionally, this divine feminine is feeling the spiritual, emotional aspect of this romantic soul contract. Very emotional about it, maybe lying about it though, right? Because part of what's tinging all of this, the fly in the ointment, the turd in the punch bowl, is this jealousy. Well, how come that divine masculine when's it my turn to do that? How come they get to do that, right? Again, can you hear the 5-year-old child? This divine masculine is just triggering that. That has nothing to do with him. The divine feminine can heal this, but if she doesn't come clean to the divine masculine, that's what this decision of loyalty is about. Do I express myself? Do I make the decision? Or do I keep going around in circles, juggling these blades, cutting myself and everybody else around me through the deceptions? Because then the divine masculine over here, he actually wants to go through this again. He's got the passion, he's got the desire, he's got the willingness to say, yes, let's give this another shot. It is very much the Samaritan, right? Let me reread the Samaritan shadow attribute. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer, right? Wicked fucking toxic, very covert narcissistic. Light attribute refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Really would prefer to ignore this, but is willing to help, willing to serve, willing to put in the work. In Ace of Wands in the position of fire. The Magician in the element of earth. This divine masculine, I mean, maybe there is something magical going on here as well, but let's keep in mind the Magician is about taking divine will, the divine plan, fifth dimensional, whatever's scripted, down all the way into physical form, and willing to do that work. I keep referring back to that Eight of Pentacles. Ten of Wands, though, I am done, done, overburdened, so tired, got what they wanted. Perhaps this divine masculine walked away from this divine feminine and is just like, mentally, I am toast. I don't want to fucking think about this anymore. But their truer nature, right? Their soul is moving them into this Samaritan archetype. But then in their emotions, Ten of Swords, betrayed. Is feeling betrayed by this divine feminine. Now this is why, like I said, if this was a twin flame thing, I would say forgive from a distance, heal yourself, move on. This is a soulmate contract. Two of you were scheduled to do this to help each other heal. Both sides of this. Because that also means the betrayal that the divine masculine is feeling is only triggered by the divine feminine, that there's a pattern of this that the divine masculine gets to heal as well emotionally by embrace. I love the one who feels betrayed. I love the one who's been betrayed. I love you. I love you. I love the one who has been deceived. I love the one who hates the deceiver. I love the one who loves the deceiver. That might be part of this too, all this overthinking, Ten of Swords shit going on. But the overview is Eight of Pentacles. At the end of the day, from Spirit's point of view, this is what they came in to do. They may know that on some level, just in general or in this relationship, but willing to do it because the divine feminine has romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. It does feel like the move has to come from the divine feminine here. But the divine masculine, new love, embrace this new opportunity of love that is here. This may pertain to work opportunities or spiritual growth. And what I just heard from the higher self of whoever this is over here, and if that's loving themselves, they're fine. And if that's them loving their spiritual growth, that's fine. But it's definitely through a new love. The thing is this divine masculine could feel like, well, I can give or take you. You know, I've got options. I got the magician. I've got my techniques. I've got my practices, my processes, my prayers, my what have you in play. It's a lot of alliteration. So this new love, I'm willing to put in the work, though. And that's that Samaritan nature. But we should really keep an eye on the shadow attribute of ulterior motive. And then what does this end with? The sensual awakening, that the connection here, it does feel like they're in separation, but it feels like the next time they meet face to face. Whether it's later today or 10 years from now or next lifetime, kind of up to the divine feminine to make the offer, which is sort of a switch. We're used to the divine masculine having to make the offer. Feels like there's a reversal on this, on a reversal of roles, where then the divine masculine is probably going to say yes. But for a Samaritan thing, for a divine family thing, but the passion, the connection, the sensuality between these two is undeniable, which also means there is a possibility for something tantric here. Now, tantra ain't just about sexual yoga. It is an ancient system. It means weaving, W-E-A-V-I-N-G, and it is about embodying divine energy into form, fifth dimensional and above energy into physical form for the purpose of healing. It's all about embracing shadows, right? Alchemy, right? It's essentially alchemy, and yes, there are yoga poses involved. Google it. So, wow, that was pretty wild. What a wild ride. My Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Good luck in this soulmate contract, and may you be blessed. May this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract be blessed with all that it needs for November-ish 2019, that they may heal, that they may come together, that they may help each other heal and fulfill their contract and fulfill their roles in the divine plan, both together and apart, for the well-being of all. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Remember, I'm offering Drunk Tarot as soon as I get there. So do tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends. Right, communicators, you Geminis. But for now, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of the rest of the month and for now. Hail, farewell, and blessed be. Blessed be. Always one for each twin. Ciao, Z.